Welcome everyone, Greg Diamond here. As you know, recently we returned from a trip to Europe in Israel. This trip was filled with what only can be described as gobsmacking moments, like walking around the streets of Milan at night and bumping into the Milan Basilica, the Duomo. It was lit up and it looked mind-blowingly beautiful. We later climbed the roof and had the pleasure of the view from the heights. So many incredible scenes and experiences. In Venice, in Florence, Siena, and finally Rome. To visit again the Sistine Chapel and see that amazing ceiling. Then to walk into St. Peter's. That almost always brings me to my knees. In Greece, going up to the Acropolis and standing dwarfed by the Parthenon. In Israel, seeing the Roman ruins of Caesarea, gazing across the Sea of Galilee from our resort at Ramot and seeing the twinkling lights of Tiberias. To sail on the Sea of Galilee, to peruse the old city of Jerusalem, Nazareth, Bethlehem, and to stand on the top of Masada looking down upon the Dead Sea. These were spectacular and awe-inspiring experiences, but it wasn't until I returned to Australia and listened to a podcast with Stephen Bartlett and Professor Dasha Keltner that I fully realised the positive influence on my physiology from these experiences. Professor Keltner is involved in investigating the science of awe and its effects on the human psyche and physiology. Here are some of the findings. 1. Increased well-being. Experiencing awe has been associated with increased feelings of happiness, satisfaction, and overall well-being. A study published in the Journal of Emotion found that individuals who frequently experienced awe had higher levels of positive emotions and lower levels of negative emotions. 2. Reduced stress. Awe has been found to have stress-reducing effects. Research published in the journal Emotion again showed that individuals who experienced awe had lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. This suggests that awe may help regulate the body's stress response. 3. Improved cognitive function, your brain. Awe may enhance cognitive function and creativity. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who were induced to feel awe showed improved performance on tasks requiring creative problem solving compared to those in a more neutral state. 4. Enhanced social connection. Experiencing awe can promote feelings of connectedness with others and a sense of belonging. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology demonstrated that awe increased pro-social behaviours, generosity, suggesting that it promotes cooperation and social harmony. 5. Altered perceptions of time. Awe can also alter our perception of time. Research published in the journal Psychological Science found that participants who experienced awe feel like they had more available time and were less impatient compared to those in a control group. This altered perception of time may lead to greater appreciation of being in the present moment. And finally, increased sense of meaning and purpose. Awe can evoke a sense of meaning and purpose. Studies have shown that individuals who frequently experience awe are more likely to report a sense of purpose and a greater understanding of their place in the world. You know, one of my favourites, G.K. Chesterton, said, "We perish not through lack of wonders, but lack of wonder." He had an awe practice. He constantly was amazed at the natural world, at marvellous human endeavours in the arts, in the sciences and architecture. He once said, paraphrased by me, that the science fiction writers who would tell of the purple grass or 3 moons of another planet, but didn't marvel at the green grass of our own and the splendour of our own moon. He had attuned himself to things that were awe-inspiring, whether they were natural or human. historical or current, science or art, things that drew him to a sense of the transcendent. Getting back to my travels, isn't it interesting that we often travel with the anticipation of experiencing new and exciting things? And because of that anticipation, we have a raised awareness of exactly those things that will create a sense of wonder and awe, even to the extent that we return home with that new sense of wonder and appreciation of our own home environments and relationships, at least for a while. That's the problem, isn't it? We then get used to, blind to, the wonders around us unless we foster that attitude of appreciation. Why do we love the Richard Attenborough nature documentary so much? Because he is expert at focusing our attention on the extraordinary natural world in all its wonder and complexity. But it doesn't have to be just the natural wonders. I was watching my daughter deal with her children recently, and I was awestruck at her equilibrium, her compassion, her understanding, and her wisdom in dealing with her children. Quite honestly, she demonstrated much better parenting skills than I have had. I let myself experience awe as I watched her. Awe could come from a book, a poem, a person, a meal, a story, music, a musical. I recently saw the musical Come From Away. It was fantastic. It was incredibly inspiring. Do we have the eyes to see and the ears to hear the incredible that is around us? I was in the city of Brisbane a few years ago at a conference, and I was in my hotel room on the first evening of the conference watching TV when a massive tropical storm rolled in. It was impressive. Mighty claps of thunder, spectacular bolts of lightning and torrential rain. I turned off the TV, turned off the lights, opened the curtains and just watched the show outside. I was awestruck. I was glad I was inside, mind you. But from the safety of my room, I watched it unfold in an incredible display of natural wonder and allowed myself to experience awe. It seems we are wired to experience and respond positively to awe. Why? Good question. Personally, I believe it was something to do with the creator of the universe wanting to attract and hold our attention long enough for us to be drawn to a consideration of things transcendent, something bigger than ourselves. But whatever the reason, we would do well to gain the habit of being awed. It seems our health in body, mind and spirit is intimately linked to a sense of awe. It's no wonder that we look back on the history and look at temples and churches and pyramids and monuments of every sort, whether they be statues or art or roads or bridges or buildings or stadiums, the Colosseum. We see our proclivity at creating awe. Not only is the natural world a source of that, but the creativity of our own hands is inspiring to us all. And the good news is that even sharing these awesome experiences with others allows them to experience the same positive results on brain and body. But we get it from just sharing those experiences with one another. That's amazing in itself. So, what's the lesson? That we can change our view of the world around us, become more attuned to the awesome and the incredible, and in so doing, improve our own physical and mental health. What an easy habit to adopt. What an easy lesson to learn, but what an incredible effect it can have on our health and happiness. I hope you found this useful. Remember, stop, look around, see the incredible and the awe-inspiring that is in your world, and you're surrounded by it. You've just got to open the eyes and to see it. Catch you in the next episode. We might talk a little bit about gratefulness, because the two of these, this sense of awe and gratefulness, seem to have this interconnection. and more positive effects on brain, on body, on our mind and on our spirit. Catch you soon.